Welcome, guys, to a new video. Today we are doing another top 10. Me and Caleb are both going to have our top 10 current Formula One drivers. And to start off, we're going to do some honorable mentions. Caleb, who are your honorable mentions?
So for my first one, I have Lance Stroll. He has 23 points, and he's 10th in the point standings. And then my second one is Nico Hülkenberg. He has 22 points, and he's 11th in points.
He does race for Aston Martin, so it's kind of a good team in F1. And Nico Hülkenberg getting a 5th or 6th last week at Great Britain was really good for him. And, he does race for Haas, so it's not the best team in the world, but he's still a solid driver. My honorable mention is Alexander Albon because he races for Williams. And, Williams is one of the worst teams in F1. So, he only has 4 points and he is 16th in the standings if you count full-time drivers. He's not bad, but, he, again, races for Williams, and he's shown glimpses of being a really good driver. So, moving on to number 10. Caleb, who's your number 10?
My number 10 is Fernandinho Alonso.
Fernando.
Yeah, sorry. He has 45 points, and he's 9th in the points standings. I just think that he's like a really good driver, and that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good driver. He does race for Aston Martin, but, my number 10 is Sergio Perez, and you guys might be surprised by this. He does have 118 points, and he is 6th in the standings, but he races for Red Bull, and that's, like, the best team probably by a long margin, and he's not consistent at all. Like, one week he'll be on the podium, and like at Great Britain he was in like 18th like the entire race. So I think if he has more consistency he'll be good, and sometimes he's just dirty, so that's why he's at 10. And number 9, Caleb?
My number 9 is Yuki Tsunoda.
We both put Yuki Tsunoda at our 9.
He has 20 points. He's 12th in points. I just think he's been doing really good this season. He's really stepped it up, and I just think that he's a good driver.
Yeah, and you have to take into consideration, we both put him at 9, and, he's on one of the worst teams. He's not on a good team at all, and he is still almost in the top 10 in points. He hasn't had much, overtakes this season, but, if he's qualified good, he's usually defended that position very well. So, Caleb, who's your number 8?
My number 8 is Oscar Piastri. He has 124 points, and he's 5th in points. But, what's his thing's name?
McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren. He has that's another good, car, and, I just don't think that he's been performing that good.
Wow. Seriously?
Well, I don't know.
I have Fernando Alonso at my number 8, and, he's pretty consistent. Again, he doesn't have the best car, but, I think if you put him in a Red Bull, it'd be another, Sergio Perez situation. So, I think he's pretty solid. It's just, there's not much to say. He can be dirty sometimes, but, overall, he's a pretty solid driver, and that's why I have him at my number 8 spot.
So, for my number 7, I have George Russell. He has 1 win, 111 points, 7th in points. He has been pretty consistent this season, but just, I don't think he's, that consistent.
Well, we both put him at our number 7, and I think, he's an inconsistent driver, he'll either be, in the on a podium or winning a race, but then he'll be like, random, days where he just has to retire the car for some reason. So he's just inconsistent. He's not always the best at driving.
So for my number 6, I have Sergio Perez. He has 118 points and he's 6th in points. Same thing as Isaac said. He drives like he's in a Williams car, but
What? Williams is really bad.
well, like he drives like
Not as he should.
yeah.
An overtake if Perez can just get close enough. Does he
okay.
have enough road to sweep around the outside?
Yeah, I mean,
there is your
people have
answer.
mixed
He did
opinions
it in
on
the final
Perez.
meters of the
And,
corner. but he
he's one of your favorites. So, Carlos Sainz is at my number 6, and he's just a clean, consistent driver. I just think he's really good. I mean, he has a win on the year. He has 146 points, and he's 4th in the standings. And he's usually in the top 5, or at least right outside of being in the top 5. But he's had a good race pretty much every single race this season.
So for my number 5, I have Carlos Sainz. He has 1 win, 146 points, and he's 4th in points. He's very consistent, and he's been in the top 3 5 times in the first 12 races. He's been on the podium 5 times in the first 12 races.
Yeah, that's just another way. He's a very consistent driver. And I have at my number 5 Charles Leclerc. And you guys might be surprised, but people like Leclerc, but also people think he's such an overrated driver. I think he's really good, but sometimes there's just races where he's not that good and he's like back around 10th place. But there's races where he looks like he could be a top 3 driver in F1, and winning at Monaco was a huge step for him. He currently has 150 points and is 3rd in the standings, but overall he is a really good driver, and I think good things are still to come for him. But that's why I put him at my number 5 spot.
So for my number 4, I also picked Charles Leclerc. Same thing. He won at Monaco. He has 1 win, 150 points, and he's 3rd in the standings. He's probably my favorite driver.
Okay.
I don't like
okay.
Sergio Perez. I don't like Sergio Perez that much anymore.
Okay. Why'd you put Leclerc? Why'd you put Leclerc there?
Because he's a really good driver, I think. He drives like he should be.
Well, yeah,
driving.
Ferrari's a really good
For Ferrari.
constructor to drive
Like he's
for.
usually pretty consistent. Usually. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Leclerc's a pretty good driver, but for my number,
I have Oscar Piastri.
4, I have Oscar
he
Piastri
is young,
because
and he
still
still
has
young,
much room
and
to
he
grow.
still has
And,
much room to
he's-
grow.
And,
racing for
he's McLaren, which is a pretty
racing
good
for
team.
McLaren, which is a
to
pretty
race
good
for.
team.
And
to race for.
He's consistent, and he's
just
really
consistent,
just a
and
clean
he's
driver.
really,
And
just a
lately
clean
he's
driver,
been showing. He's been showing he can get in the top 5 and get in the top 5 and. He has 124 points and is 5th in the standings, and I bet a win is 5th in the standings, and I bet a win. And at number 3, we both have Lewis Hamilton. At Lewis Hamilton. Why did you put him at number 3? Caleb, why did you put him at number 3?
I just think that he's one of my other favorites.
He's one of my other
He has
favorites
1 win,
too.
110
He has
points,
1
and he's
win,
8th in the
110
standings.
points, and he's 8th
But,
in the
like,
standings.
He's still
But,
a
like,
really good driver.
He's
He
still
has,
a really good
7
driver.
world
He has like
championships,
7
and
world
he's getting old,
championships,
but
and
he's still
he's
a
getting
good
old,
driver.
but he's
Yeah,
still a
he's
good
had
driver.
a rough start to the season. And some of the times times it wasn't even his fault, and some of the times it wasn't even his fault. He's just still consistent. He's just still consistent. Not as good as he used to be, but I think he's just a really clean driver. But I think he's just a really clean driver.
We both have the same driver again at number 2.
At number 2, and it is Lando Norris. Did you pick Norris at 2? Why did you pick Norris
I
at 2?
picked him because he has one win. He's in second place, and he's a really good driver. He's a really good driver.
I think Lando Norris. If he drove a Red Bull, he would be the best driver. Red Bull, he would be the best driver. I think he's just good. He's young. He's probably gonna be good. He's young. He's probably gonna be the next best driver once Verstappen and Hamilton racing anymore, and he's got a bright future anymore, and he's got a bright future. A lot of people like him, and I think he's just just a really good driver. We both at number 1 by a long shot. Logan Sargent. It was easily Logan Sargent. It was Max Verstappen. Just kidding. It was Max Verstappen at number 1. So Caleb, why do you have Max Verstappen?
Why do you have Max Verstappen at number 1? Anyone would pick Max Verstappen because he's in first place in the standings. He has 7
He won
wins.
7 of the first 10 races.
7 of the first 10 races.
That really means
a lot.
That really means that he's the best driver.
Yeah, and he's driving like he should. Yeah, and he's driving like he should because he's for Red Bull. Probably gonna win the drivers' championship again. Thank you guys for watching. This is our top 10. Thank you guys for watching. This is our top 10. Make sure to comment. See you guys later. Your top 10 in the comments. See you guys later.